Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Sunday the 26th of October 2025. Today, Sunday, post-match, not a lot going on, take the day off. There's not much news, we had it all yesterday. But we do have a little update on the West Kingsdown training ground. One of the conditions, condition 9, surface water drainage scheme. This is one of the conditions where the plans were submitted and then they were queried by the consultees. I'm not sure which one. I think maybe Kent County Council, or maybe the Environment Agency, or somebody. Yeah. But we do have an update. It says 21st of October, but it wasn't published on the 20th. For some reason, they don't. The dates don't match up always. I think it was published a few days after that, and that's when it was publicly available on this, which is pa.sevenoaks.gov.uk, which is the Sevenoaks District Council planning application search engine. So what we have, Mill submitted plans to discharge this condition. They were queried, and now they've had to resubmit it, and they have done that. So, let's get into it. It was Kent County Council Flood and Water Management. Right. So, dear Emily, how are you? How are you, Emily? I'm writing to provide you with a response to your comments for the site at West Kingsdown. Your comments are summarised below in blue, followed by our response. So this is what she said in terms of the queries that she had. The accompanying Phase 2 Geo-Environmental Assessment dated 8th of September 2023 highlights within this section that if deeper borehole soakways are considered, then specific testing should be carried out to determine the permeability of this material and the absence of any groundwater. At this stage, we would expect detailed infiltration testing to be provided to support the assumed infiltration rate. Soakage tests should be undertaken in accordance with BRE 365, including the requirement to fill the test pit 3 times. Testing should be carried out at the proposed locations and depths of the infiltration features. So basically what they said is, if we're going to dig deeper, we'll test it before we do it. And she's like, this is a plan application. You should have done that already, and it should be in this application. And the BRE 365 is kind of like a standardized test, industry-wide, that they use to kind of test how fast water dissipates. So this is their response to that. As recommended within yada yada yada, further detailed infiltration testing has now been carried out at the proposed depths of the deeper borehole soakaways. This additional ground investigation report containing the results of the specific deeper infiltration testing is found within the enclosed document. So they've gone down there and they've done the testing that she said you should have done in the first place. So if we go back and look, so their comments were in July. So from July to October, they've been out and they've done it. So there you go. And then it's got the results of what they've done, how they did it, but obviously it's all in the report anyway. The calculated infiltration rates are lower than the assumed rates used within the previous submitted drainage strategy. As a result, the SUD strategy has been amended to accommodate the reduced infiltration rate and to still allow infiltration to the ground via deep boreway soakaways. The option to drill deeper boreholes into the more structured chalk is retained and can be implemented during the final drilling construction process. The updated strategy centres around the provision of additional storage and borehole soakaways to ensure that all surface water runoff accumulated across the site is still safely conveyed to the infiltration areas on site, posing no flood risk to the site users off site. Each borehole test was positioned noting proximity to the 5 infiltration areas on the site, and the maximum possible number of borehole tests was conducted. Table 1 is what they did. Now, this is what they've changed. The revisions that they've made. A geocellular storage tank installed beneath each basin. A further geocellular storage tank upstream of basin E. An increase in the size of geocellular storage tank D. An increase in depth of permeable surfacing system. The provision of 4 additional boreway soakaways. An increase in diameter and infiltration depth of the borehole soakaways, so they made them bigger, they made them wider and deeper, and the provision of surface water pumps at the base of each geocellular storage tank to facilitate rainwater reuse to irrigate the football pitches as much as is required, for which there will be a high demand. So they're reusing the rainwater. It's being stored under the ground, and they will reuse it to pump onto the football pitches. So there you go. Isn't that nice? Recycling the water. Etc. etc. Yada yada. So this is what she said as well. She said this. Further to this, we seek for details regarding the groundwater level in the area to be provided, and confirmation that a minimum of 1 metre separation has been provided from the base of any infiltration feature and the groundwater level. And they say, after our latest investigation, no groundwater was encountered during the borehole testing investigation to a depth of 30 metres below ground level. It is therefore inferred that groundwater will not interfere with the infiltration features at the site. The latest testing was also carried out in September, where groundwater levels should be elevated and near to maximum winter levels. Obviously, exactly, they did this in probably, July, August. They've actually gone back and said, well, there was a bit of a drought this year. Maybe we'll come back. They came back in September and they had another go. And then she said, the report highlights that the deep boreway soakaways will have a 10 metre easement from other boreholes and a 15 metre easement from all buildings. However, the assessment highlights that soakaways may not be permissible within 20 metres of any structure. So they're saying it's going to be 15 metres from the structure. But then they said, well, no, they're not allowed within 20 metres of the structure. So what's going on there? It doesn't. They contradict each other. Further to this, the easements for a number of soakaways overlap. We would seek for further consideration to be given to this and clarification regarding the required separation distance. In line with the original assessment and the latest report, the proposed drawing and borehole locations have been slightly amended to ensure a 20 metre easement from all building structures within the proposed development. In line with Kent County Council's Making It Happen drainage guide, all soakaways of a similar type have been kept at least 10 metres away from each other. The orange circular surrounding each borehole soakaway within the indicative surface water drainage layout delineates a 10 metre radius from each borehole location. There are no borehole soakaways that fall within any 10 metre radius hatch, ensuring the borehole soakaways are adequately spaced from each other, etc. etc. So it says the black circular hatch surrounding each borehole location denotes a 20 metre radius and is shown to highlight easement from building structures. Borehole soakaways are permitted to overlap within the black hatched areas as per Kent County Council's Making It Happen drainage guide. And then she said, we also seek for clarification regarding the contributing areas used with the hydraulic calculations. It will be extremely useful for a catchment plan to be provided, which clearly demonstrates that the areas used in the hydraulic analysis are correct and consistent with those designed for. And they say a catchment plan which clearly demonstrates which impermeable areas are drained to each infiltration suds, and using the hydraulic analysis was provided within the enclosed documents. So I think they've updated that. With regards to the hydraulic calculation, so this is what she said now. It was in blue. And climate change allowances in this location, the allowance for the 2050s epoch. Yeah, what a load of shit this is. It's higher than the one for the 2070s epoch for the 100-year storm scenario. We would expect that for a development that has a lifetime beyond 2061, the higher of the two allowances is to be used. Further to this, we also seek for the upper end climate change allowance to be applied for the design. Basically, they think the fucking world's going to end in 20 years, and we all have to pretend that it is. And the 20% allowance has been used as this was the allowance approved as part of the original submitted full planning application. So the reason why it's not the 40% or the fucking 50% or whatever bullshit they want to use is it's from when it was 2023. So in 2 years, they've upped it to fucking double. And now she's complaining. However, as requested, calculations include the upper end, 45% for all design rainfall event, has been included within the enclosed documents to show that the proposed SUD strategy is still adequately sized to infiltrate all runoff to the ground with no flooding from any SUDS feature. And then she says the half drain times within the hydraulic calculations for the deep borehole soakaways beneath Basin A and Basin E are not shown. Can you provide those? And then they go on, yada, 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 there they are, all that stuff. And then she says, where there is any exceedance of drainage network above the 30-year event, an exceedance plan should be provided illustrating where exceedance occurs and the extent and depth of flooding. Exceedance must be controlled within the site boundary. So again, you have to plan for this fake bullshit that they've just made up, and you have to go along with it. It's like, if you had to have a planning permission for, Santa's sleigh to land on your roof. Like, are you fucking insane? Are you insane? Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. But, And here we go. Hamza Askari, MPhil, MPhil, drainage engineer. And this is what they got. Updated drainage layout plan, updated causeway flow plus calculations, updated SUDS maintenance layout and drained area catchment plan. And here it all is in all its glory. That's where the borehole soakaways in the green, and then the yellow or orange they call it, and then the black. They're allowed to overlap in the black, according to Kent County Council's documents. So what was she talking about? And then I don't really know what's going on here. I don't know if the blue one is the updated one, the yellow is the updated one. I don't know what they've done here. It's just a load of numbers. It's all Chinese to me, Bob. I don't know what I'm looking at. Yeah, this is even more bizarre. They've got diagrams here, connections to manholes. Why is it a manhole and not a woman hole? Because woman hole, that's rude. That's well, you know what that is, don't you? Yes, exactly. Jack and Danny. That's what that means. It keeps going on. Why am I going? It just keeps going. There's a reason why I'm going through this. There's going to be another map at the end, so don't worry. You love a map, don't you? You love a good old map. So there you go. This is the thing that they have to do, for all of this stuff. It just goes on and on and on. Maybe someone out there watching this might know what this means, but yeah. It just keeps going and going and going and going and going, and here we go. So yeah, that's that again. For some reason, it's slightly different. But this is the thing, So obviously, she said, which areas are draining where, and these are the areas that are draining: A, B, C, and D. And then this is where they're going. They're going to these are the areas. They're kind of separated, and they've all got their own individual drainage things. And they're now putting tanks under the ground that will, collect some of the rainwater, and so kind of like a giant rain butt, and they'll be reusing that to water the football pitches. So isn't that nice? Now, all of that palaver. So this is the second. There was one other condition that got knocked back, and that's now been granted. This is the other one that's been waiting. You can see it's been going from July. Now that's gone back to the people who complained, and they've got until the 11th of the 11th, Remembrance Day, to respond. So you would imagine after that, if they come back and say, okay, and then it's up to Sevenoaks District Council to say, okay, this is granted. And then, we can move on. There's a few more things that still need to be approved, but you would imagine you can start working. How quickly? December, January, February. They did say they what did they say? Quarter four. So, does that mean quarter four of the 12-month year or quarter four of the financial year? Which would be, financial year starts in April. So, February, March. January, February, March. But, there you go. So, we've got that update about West Kingsdown. The condition that's been resubmitted, or extra details have been added. And now we wait to see if that gets approved. But other than that, we just got to talk about stats. So we're going to talk about stats now. Before we get to the stats from yesterday's game, the victory over Leicester, I want to show you this. Now, this is from whoscored.com. It's their system. It's their rating system. But obviously, it's applied to all the games and it's applied to all the players. So, you're comparing like for like on this system. This is the Championship player stats so far this season. And these are the top players in the division. And I want to show you that Femi Aziz is the second best player in the league, according to whoscored.com, at this moment. 6 games, or 6 starts, 4 goals, 1 assist. He's got a rating of 7.5. 7.5. Above him, Brandon Thomas Asante of Coventry. They're doing very well. I think he might be the top scorer in the league. He's got 9 goals in 11 games, 11 starts. He's got 7.52. So yeah. Here we go. Femi Aziz, number 2. Number 2 in the whole league. Number 2. We're going to go through the top 50 and see if there are any other Millwall players. Tristan Crammer, number 13. Number 13. 12 starts, 7.31. 7.31. Next one. Jake Cooper, number 29. Jake Cooper, so Femi Aziz, Tristan Crammer, Jake Cooper, 7.11. Jake Cooper. No one there. And no one there. So those 3 players are in the top 50 of Championship players at the moment. Just wanted to show you that. Thought it was very interesting. Femi Aziz number 2. Number 2 of however many. Probably 250 players. So not bad, eh? Not bad at all. Now, let's move on to the stats from the Millwall Leicester game. This is the match report from whoscored.com. Millwall stole the ball often from the opposition, were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from through balls. We played with width, we had a large quantity of possession in the opponent's half, and we attacked down the right-hand side. Leicester had no strengths, were poor at finishing, and they didn't really have a specific style of play. If you look on the right-hand side, you can see the top 5 players in rating, shots, tackles, and dribbles. And there you go. Clearly see Femi Aziz given the star man of the match, 8.5 by some distance. Second place, a player didn't even play the whole game. Casper Denor, 7.8. And then one of their defenders and their goalkeeper, who obviously saved the penalty. And then Ryan Leonard. Why not? If you move back into the middle, attempts on goal, 9 for us and 12 for them. 4 to 9 open play, 2 to 3 set piece, 2 to 0 counter attack, a 1 to 0 penalty. Our 1 goal from our 9 shots was a 11% conversion rate, which is standard for this division. We were mostly going down both wings actually, 40% down the left and 40% down the right. For them, they were mostly going down their left, 42. Shot directions, shot zones. So 78% of our shots were inside the box, but not inside the 6-yard box, and 22% were outside of the box. For them, it was basically 60-40. Action zones, pretty evenly spread, just slightly more in the middle. Player positions. There you go. What's going on here then? 49, that is young Derek. So Derek was going over that side to help out Zach Sturge, or did he get moved position once Billy Mitchell came on? Maybe that's the thing. Because obviously this is aggregated over 90 minutes, so when you have players move around, if there's a tactical change, that would affect how this looks. Maybe that was the plan, because Casper did all pushing on. He did get forward a bit, didn't he, Casper? He had a couple of shots, I believe. But what the hell were Leicester doing? What are they doing here? Just everyone play in the middle, like 5-year-olds. Let's all run after the ball. 3-4-3, but narrow, which is kind of weird if you're going down the wing. But yeah, kind of weird. I think it's working. But there you go. Now, here are the match events. Yellow card for Jake Cooper. That was kind of soft. Didn't see how that was a yellow card, but and then the goal just before half time. They make the first change. I think that was an injury. That was because of an injury, wasn't it? And then they make the actual tactical changes. Alex Neil makes one change that is clearly pre-planned because Casper's coming back from injury, and obviously Billy Mitchell was sick. So that seems to be a pre-planned one. And then again he waits until the 78th minute and makes a change there. And then he makes some right at the end. But again, it's like for like. So he's bringing on a Maku for Ballo. He's bringing on Joe Bryan for Zach Sturge. It's like for like. He's not bringing on Caleb Taylor to put another defender in the middle. He's not bringing on whoever else is on the bench to put an extra body in the middle. Bangor Williams to put an extra body in the middle of the park. He's just doing like for like. And I understand, with Maku, because obviously his pace. If you just kick it upfield to get rid of it, he can run onto it. But yeah. Again, something going on with Alex Neil's substitutions. I don't. If he doesn't want to tell us, he doesn't want to tell us. But clearly, some kind of plan. I don't know if they're pushing it all back. Instead of 60 minutes, they're going for now 70 because of the extra time at the end of the second half in terms of injury added on time. Whereas before it used to be 60. They've just had to add more time to it now, I guess. So, if you look at the top right and top left where the club badges are, you can see the average player rating for each team. It's 6.89 for Millwall, 6.51 for Leicester. So, slightly better for Millwall. We did have the man of the match, obviously the guy who scored the goal that won the game. Got 8.5. And the lowest rated player, Ivanovic, 6.1. Obviously missed that penalty and didn't do much else really in the game. Kramer 7.5, Leonard 7.5, Cooper 7.3, Denor 7.8, Croker 6.9. But yeah, there you go. So let's have a look and see. So these are the players' ratings. Total shots 9 to 12. Who had the shots? Wow, Femi Aziz 6 shots. Denor with 2. Ivanovic with 1. So Ivanovic had 1 shot, which was the penalty that got saved. Possession was 46 to 53. And the one on the ball the most for Millwall was Leonard and Denor. 5.4% of the match time they were on the ball. Pass success percentage 68 to 80. Quite high through the middle. Yeah, I thought we passed it around, pretty well. They were pressing us at times, and we kept on to the ball really most of the time when we were trying to keep on to it. When we were going forward, obviously, you have to play it a bit more riskily. Obviously, the way Ivanovic is playing at the moment, you put it up to him, it's like you might as well just kick it out for a throw-in. It's fucking useless. Guys playing a different game. It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Someone's come in and replaced him with someone who looks exactly like him but's forgotten how to play football. 37%. Only slightly better than a goalkeeper that kicks it about 60 yards up the pitch. Wow. Dribbles 5 to 8. Obviously the 2 wingers with the dribbles. Aerials 124 to 20. Kramer with 5, Cooper with 4, and Ivanovic with 6. How many did he lose though? We'll find out on the next page. Tackles 28 to 14. Here we go, look at this. Everyone won a tackle except for the keeper and the striker. Leonard with 6. And then Kramer, Sturge, Janor, Mazusaku, Aziz and Kundal all with 3. Bosh. Corners 5 to 9. These are players that won those corners. Dispossessed, having the ball taken off of you. And there you go. Look at that. RU for Monga 4. What a Monga. What a bloody Monga. So yeah. Let's get into the next page. So this has been sorted by rating. Yes it does. See, Femi is top of the tree at 8.49. He scored the goal. The guy who got the assist comes second, 7.8. Despite only playing 67 minutes, he's still the number 2 rated player. Then we have Kramer, 7.53. Leonard, 7.51. Jake Cooper, 7.31. Max Crocombe, 6.88. So he's number 6. And then we've got 4 other players with high 6s. And then let's get down to the bottom. As you would expect, the 2 players that came on when there was only injury time left are at the bottom with the lowest ratings. Only slightly above them, quite disappointing, is Millwall Ivanovic, 6.13. Yeah. One shot on target. That was the penalty. Got saved. And he was outperformed by Billy Mitchell, who got 6.21. Camille Neglio got 6.4. And yeah, that's yeah. So what did we have? We had 9 shots, right? We had 9 shots. How many were actually on target? 4. 9 shots, 4 on target, 1 goal. Should have been 2. Could have been 2. But I mean, without Femi Aziz, how are we scoring in that game? How are we scoring in that game? It's literally he's taken the role of being the striker because the striker has forgotten how to play. He scored 4 goals in 4 games. So, wow, thank you very much. Because without that, we'll be in serious trouble. It's crashed again. Let's just refresh it. Okay, let's try that again. There you go. How many offsides in this game? 1. Okay. Defensively, who did what? Tackles, we've already seen some of this. As mentioned, Leonard with 6, Crammer, and then all of these with 3. Impressive. But interceptions, Jay Cooper with 2, and then these guys with 1. Clearances, Tristan Crammer with 10, Jay Cooper with 8, Ryland with 4, Zach Sturge with 3, Ballo with 3, Ivanovic with 3. So he did do some defensive work. Block shots, Jay Cooper with 2, Crammer with 1. Passing, I'll show you the passing, I'm not really bothered about it. Yeah, I mean, Mazusaka though, 80. Well, that's identical. 22, 86.4. Not bad, eh? Let's move on to this fbref.com. You can see in the middle the XG 1.6 to 0.8. And what you got to remember with that is obviously a penalty kick is 0.8 on its own. So if you take our penalty off, it's 0.8 to 0.8. So again, probably should have been 1-1, but can't really. Leicester City didn't really have any clear-cut chances, did they? Not really. We go down. There's timeline of events again. Possession 47 to 53. Passing accuracy 65 to 77. I keep seeing like Leicester fans like bemoaning their kind of like keep ball, tick-a-tacker the way they're playing. They only had 409 passes, which is not that much. Because we had 368. It's not that much more than us. We played teams that have like 600 passes. Just insane like 1-2s between the two centre backs and then the goalkeeper. So it's not, it's not that bad. Shots on target, 3 of 8 for us, that's 38%. 3 of 12 for them, that's 25%. Our keeper made 3 of the 3 saves that he had to make, and there's made 2 of the 3. Fouls, 12 to 8, corners 5 to 9, crosses 19 to 21, touches of the ball 489 to 573, tackles 28 to 14, interceptions 6 to 8, aerials 124 to 19, clearances 39 to 51, offsides 1 to 2, yeah, they were offside twice, again, we were playing a bit of a high line. I don't know if that's a new thing. Maybe it's because Zach Sturge playing. He's not that. Maybe Brian's a bit slower than Zach Sturge. Zach Sturge is faster. They can probably push up a bit more. Goal kicks 10 to 9. Throw-ins 36 to 29. Long balls 84 to 62. And as we go down. So the expected goals, 1.6 for the team. Half of that was with the penalty, 0.8, which was Mihailo Ivanovic's only shot. And then you've got Femi Aziz with 0.7. And then you've got Kasper Denor with 0.1, because these are the only 3 players who had shots on goal. I don't think anybody else actually had a shot on goal. We've got shot creating actions, which is 2 offensive actions directly leading to a shot. So not only like an assist, but just like any shot that gets away, who helped create it. Femi Aziz gets 4 of those, Kasper Denor gets 4 of those, and Kundal gets 3. And then Ryan under with 2. Okay. So passing. Derek Mazusako. And where is it? Jay Cooper, same. 22. Attempted, 19 completed. And so the thing with that that's dragged Cooper's score down is the long ball, really. 3 attempts, 2 completed, 66.7. His short passing, his medium passing, pretty spot on. Same for Mazusaka, except reversed. In terms of his short and medium is reversed. Casper De Norre, he got dragged down by his long balls again. But here's the thing: long balls to whom? To Ivanovic. Basically, you might as well just kick it against the brick wall, because it's just going to come straight back. Yeah. Pass types. Okay. Defensive actions, tackles. Turno Ballo. So, number of dribblers a tackle. So, a Leicester player is dribbling, you attempt to tackle him. Who did this? Who did it? Turno Ballo tried it 3 times, only got 1. Femi Aziz tried it 2 times, only got 1. Kundal was 100%. Billy Mitchell was 100%. Mazusaka and Sturge were 50-50. And Joe Bryant and Jake Cooper were 100% off of 1 attempt. Possession. So this is dribbling yourself. So number of attempts to dribble by Ballo, 4. 2 were successful. Femi Aziz, it was 3 attempts, 2 successful. Negley was 1 and 1, so that's 100%. In terms of getting on the ball, these numbers don't seem that high, really. The yardage is quite low, really. It seemed to be everything was going through Femi, so that's why he's the only one who had all the shots. It was literally give the fucking ball to Femi, let him fucking do something, because he's had 26 carries of the ball, 206 yards, 154 yards of that was progressive distance, which, if you don't know, is total distance in yards a player moved the ball while controlling it with their feet towards the opponent's goal line, because that's where it's got to go to get the goal. And then you look at Derek Mazusaka, who gets on the ball 16 times, 102 yards, but only 16 of that was forwards. Very much defensive. Everyone's not really going forwards with the ball. I think that's kind of the thing with that. That was the kind of thing that Massimo Luongo was doing, and certainly Will Smallbone was doing. And now that's off the table. What do you do? What do you do? Luke Kundal, 21 carries of the ball, 58 yards, 22 yards of that was forwards. Yeah, that's not a lot, is it? It's not a lot at all. Compare that with De Norre. I think, which one was playing more further forward? But here's the thing: Luke Kundal, 77 minutes on the pitch. De Norre, 67 minutes on the pitch. There and there. Casper De Norre, 20 carries of the ball for 79 yards, 37 yards of that was forward. Who's the more attacking player? Luke Kundal's apparently playing in the 10 role. It doesn't seem like it. I mean, fucking hell. But yeah, literally just give it to Femi. Let him get on with it. Miscellaneous stats. So we've seen the aerial duels won. But what about the aerial duels lost? Yes. So overall, team-wise, it was 24-1-19 lost, which is 55.8%. And you got Ivanovic 1-6 lost 9. That's 40%. Femi Aziz 2-1. Luke Kundal 0-1. Negley 0-1. Casper De Norre 2-1. Zach Sturge 0-1. And then you got the defenders helping to bump that score up with Jake Cooper 4-3, Kramer 5-2, Ryan Lender 3-0, and Max Crocombe 1-0. So in terms of forward, the forward players not really doing that well, winning the aerial duels, but the defence picking up the slack. Let's have a look at the keeper, Max Crocombe. Shots on target against 3, saves 300% save rate. Post shot XG 0.1. Yeah, the chances from Leicester weren't very good. So post-shot XG, does it show? Yeah, as you can see here, post-shot XG is expected goals based on how likely the goalkeeper is to save the shot. XG total includes penalty kicks, but do not include penalty shootouts. An underline indicates that there is a match. Okay, yeah. So in terms of goal kicks, 10 goal kicks, all 100% long, 67.8 average yards, average length. Crosses from Leicester into the box, 21. He came out to stop 0. His average distance off his goal line was 8.7 yards. So let's get down and have a look at the shots. Not that many. This is all the shots in that game. And as you can see, we had 9, they had 12. They had the first 3 inside the 10 minutes. We were under the cosh a bit. It felt like it was going to be one of those days. But we have blocked 18 yards out from 18 yards out. Off target from 32 yards out. Saved 20 yards out. And it goes down. It goes from 0.05 when he shoots it, and it goes down, which means the keeper's going to save it. You've not worked the keeper. Whereas you look at Femi Aziz's shot that's 0.05, it goes up to 0.09. It almost doubles the chance of going in. So basically 1.00 is 100%. But they do it like this. So it goes from 5% to 9%. 11 yards right footed. And then Casper Noor off target. Their geezer off target. Casper Noor blocked. Femi Aziz saved, and that one does go down. That goes from 9% to 7%. And then Ramsey blocks. Fatawa off target, and Ramsey saved. But again, it goes down. It halves. It goes from 2% to 1%. It's 30 yards right footed, and you straight out the keeper. Oh, what's he gonna do? We've got a real keeper now. There's no problems. And then the goal, straight after that, I have to check. I think Max Croker might have helped, set this away. His distribution is pretty decent when he doesn't just lump it up to the lump up front. Femi Aziz 0.43, right, 13 yards, right foot volley, bosh. There you go. And again, should the keeper have saved that? 0.23. And this is the thing, I mentioned this before. You kick it at the keeper's head, or just above his head. They don't know what to do, because they're using their hands. Everything is about their hands. They don't have the wherewithal to switch and just head it away. It doesn't occur to them. They're like, oh, get my hand on it. So if you put it between their hands and at their head, they don't have the instincts to just head it away. It's not in their minds. And then we've got half time. Then they have a header off target. The penalty gets saved. 13 yards right footed. Was that a good penalty? Was it a bad penalty? I mean, it goes down. It goes down from 0.79 to 0.72. And then we've got Femi Aziz off target. But that's... You can see how, the game is changing. The changes, the subs get made. Things... And this is the thing with Alex Neil, why he's not making substitutions. Because this is the same thing I think happened, was it the QPR game? Or I think it was the QPR game. Because you can go back and you can check the list of shots for that. The same thing happened where once the subs got made, there wasn't any shots. For a while, you bring new players in and it changes everything, and things have got to start up again. So maybe that's why he's not making the changes until later on in the game, because you've got a shot here on 59 minutes And there isn't another shot by either team until the 73rd minute. A massive chunk of the game, there's no shot. 18 yards left footed off target. This geezer, that was the overhead kick, wasn't it? Yeah, that was off target. And then James off target. James blocked. Patson Daka saved, but again, 14 yards header. It drops from 4% to 2%. I didn't have any clear-cut chances. The only chance I had that was under 10 yards was that header there, 9 yards. They don't get inside the penalty area. They're all like taking pot shots. They haven't got the patience to work it in and get in behind and take the shot. And then right at the end, Femiz takes that shot when he should have went to the corner probably and just to waste time. But it was supposed to be 6 minutes of added time. It's 8 minutes of added time. What the fuck's that about? What the fuck was that about? But there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.